But it's funny you say it's a movie for kids because it makes me think of the early Disney stuff that's really powerful and scary in a lot of ways. And what you're doing is you're asking for emotional maturity, which those Disney movies did. They weren't trying to pat kids on the head and make them feel better. But this movie starts off in a really scary place. This makes it feel like a fairy tale to me.
Yeah, and I mean, it's clearly time we go back to that, right? Look around.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know what I mean. I don't know, you guys have your thing here, we have our thing going on in Brazil right now. I mean, it's
Oh my God, yes, it's gotta be terrible
yeah,
now.
it's terrible. We're just going back
Well,
to
8 years
Brazil
ago
to
was pretty
vote.
terrifying too. I mean, the economy was in free fall 8 years ago,
Yes.
and yeah.
It's a sum of fears, and the way fear, with the help, or I don't know how to call it, of the media, um, the way it's playing, I don't know, we have to do something about it. And seriously, it's really the origin of, like, we started with a film with this goal of really talking to kids about these very complicated things that are happening in society, and and I don't know, we adults and parents, we sometimes try to protect them, and sometimes we try, even though we want to talk to them, it's very difficult to talk to them about stuff that is going on. So we work very hard to come up with a way to open up a possibility of having a conversation with kids, really, about all this, because they feel and they understand everything that is going on, or maybe they don't understand, but they definitely feel it. And if, you know, if you don't talk to kids about this whole, what I call, like, this culture of fear that is going on in the world, and if they grow accustomed to this culture of fear as if it were something normal, we are already in a bad place. But if they actually think this is normal, it's going to get so much worse, you know? So this is really like the motivation for the film. And of course, I like to say, because if I say that, everybody will think, especially like in interviews, they say, of course, I go on, and especially with the whole politics in Brazil and the whole thing, I go on and on. But it's also a very fun story. You know, we made sure that we knew that we were going to talk about a very complicated thing. So we made sure that the plot was, like, the storyline was very traditional in a way. Of course, it's very fantastic and everything, but it's very traditional. It's a traditional hero's journey. So it's all there, you know. It's a fun adventure. Like, we had one of our big references was the Goonies. You know, like, just a bunch of people coming together to just, you know,
A bunch of kids coming together.
yeah, exactly, because they have the solution. That's the thing. If we actually manage, like, to talk to kids, I think in so many ways they have. And I mean, I'm a parent. I have 2 kids.
What do your kids think of this movie?
Yeah, it's a funny story. I've been telling it. It's funny because they, of course, okay, they are a little biased, but they, you know. But the funny story about it is that I've been offering my kids to watch.
How old are they, by the way?
10 and 7. Yeah, I've been working hard to finish the film so that it would be the target. No, if I had taken another couple of years, no, maybe you might. Yeah. But the funniest thing is that I've been offering, like, to have, like, a private screening for the movie, like, it's almost ready, I can show it to you, and the kids were like, I want to watch it. And I've been saying that I think my theory is that they actually didn't believe that I was a filmmaker, so they wanted to see it together with everybody else, you know, popcorn, like an audience kind of stuff, and then they're like, okay. I think, yeah, that's my theory.
But it's funny because I find you say Goonies, but I really do find myself thinking stuff like Pinocchio or Snow White, which are about the most primal fears. And the most primal modern fear for a kid now is his parents separating. I mean, that's replaced you know, the kind of fears that you would see in movies. And that's still a real fear that half the kids around the world experience. That actually happens to them. They do have a parent move out, and the mother be so protective. She's almost like a villain. I mean, she's basically got her arms around him so much that she's like a shadow looming over him. That's a really scary image, the way she holds him at the beginning versus the way she holds him at the end, which is, I mean, talk about that, the way you artistically sort of show that that embrace is very different.
Yeah, I mean, we had to work with the whole idea of fear on very many different levels, so that, you know, you have different levels of understanding for the story. And of course, the whole thing about like the single mother and the absent father, that becomes
And the
like,
mother angry that the father's not there.
yeah, of course, and she's totally right. I mean, yeah, because when the mother says, you know, I'm what you've got, so yeah,
And
I'm
he
here,
almost, and
he's
he
not,
almost,
you
and he
know.
almost killed you.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, we played with that a lot because we thought it was going to be very important for the development of the character and for also for kids to understand the whole situation and even like the whole connection with his father through pigeons, like so that the pigeons become really this image of the father, and so he's constantly looking for the solution after his father, and then eventually his father comes back and he does not have the solution. I think that was something that came up very early on during the
So you
development.
knew that the father was not going to have the answer.
Yes.
Because that's kind of what we're waiting for. That, you know, he will finally get a chance to finish this experiment,
Yeah.
and he doesn't.
No, he does not. Because it's really like about saying it's up to you kids, you know, because yeah, they are. So whatever you see like in terms of smoke, water, lights, and some other like details like the leaves and the trees or the extras in the back in the end of the movie, that's real oil painted on glass. So we really wanted to bring that kind of texture to so that people look at it and is it really oil paint? And yeah, there is oil paint there. Yeah.
Well, we're aware of that because that also gives it the feeling too of feeling really, like I said, there's a primitivism. I mean, it almost feels like a kid's painting in some ways
exactly.
too.
Yeah, there was because even though it's digital, like we would just work with textures also on top, and just a few touches and some strokes on top of it would give like this. It would make them become more organic and less just like digital, and it's very cool because this week it's actually my first time in LA, and it's seriously. And I've been talking like to all these very awesome like professionals from Disney, and they're asking, how did you do it? They don't understand it, and it's just like so many simple solutions put together, and it seems that we've achieved a place that you guys are saying is unique somehow.
I think the word you're looking for is better. But anyway, yes, absolutely. What I want to say too is I was aware from the very beginning of the eyes. Usually when you see those round faces drawn like that, they're usually supposed to be cherubic and smile and make us happy. And nobody smiles in this movie. I was trying to think, have I ever seen an animated film where almost nobody smiles?
Well, there's the smile where you goes with it. There are
a couple smiles, but not many.
Not many, no. And we worked with the round eyes because we knew that we would have to develop the whole transformation for the disease thing. So we knew the eyes had to be round. The designs at the beginning had like bigger heads, but then we saw that was not going to work very well. So they became more humanoids. But the eyes are very important because they show the progression of the disease, right? So, and also even like the rocks, in the end they still have eyes, so that it's the only way they can show some kind of emotion and expression.
But even before the disease, the eyes show suffering. I mean, even when they're smiling, everybody's got a lot of lines under their
Yeah, lots of eyes.
Looks like nobody
lines, yes.
slept much in the movie. I mean, I've never seen an anime film where it looks like the characters need a night's sleep. That's,
Well, it's the kind of stuff that we're trying to portray. But that does not mean that there is no happiness in the movie. There is, but it's really something that has to do with the whole idea of fear.
but there's nuance in this. That's what I was saying. The way his mother hugs him at the very beginning, when she's basically enveloping him, versus the way she hugs him at the end. We can see their two faces,
Yeah.
and it's really a loving embrace. I mean, there's certainly affection there, and she's kind of smiling, before those cellos start songing, and it tells us that the world isn't quite where we want it to be. But really,
The musician, the composers were constantly asking me, "Come on, Gustavo, please let me put at least a little bit of happiness there." And I was like, no happiness. It's going to be beautiful, and the happiness will come out of the redemption. And they were, "Are you sure?" And they would sometimes try to sneak a little happiness. Was, "Gotcha, no, take it out."
yeah, that's
I
happiness.
mean, it's the story that you have to be coherent with the story too, It's not that, I've done comedy before, and we
But
do
there's-
have...
but there's anxiety in your comedy too. I mean, people kind of always like this.
Yeah,
You do. You make movies about anxiety.
yeah, it's true.
I know it's true. I mean,
I don't know, I have to think about it.
but you do. Where does that come from? I mean, this.